Hey, this is Sarah. So I was just looking at your data set and how we were going to put it in. And one of the first things I wanted to do is just map the fields. So I took a look at the type right here in your list. And I wanted to see where would it go in Salesforce. Probably a field name type. Makes sense, right? So let's cruise on over to Salesforce. And here I have a temporary record, and here is our type. And I noticed that you have do not have the type for Jewish and non-Jewish religious affiliation. So, but we do have a religious and an affiliate organization, which is interesting. So it leads me to believe that there may be a teeny bit of work to do here on defining the types that you want to recognize within your organization. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm adding in those two new pick list values into your data set. So the way that we do that, just so you can do it in the future, or you could remove my work, is I go to our friends setup. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to our friends setup. I opened it in a new tab. I find having many tabs within Salesforce incredibly helpful. And what I want to change is an organizational record. And now the thing that's kind of interesting about Salesforce is it started as a for-profit tool. So instead of finding organizations, what you're going to find is a type called accounts. So the way that the way that I remember it is in the front end, it's going to look the way that's, the beautiful user interface, look the way that I would expect for a nonprofit organization through customization. But the back end is going to always be a little bit of that for-profit feel. So instead of having organizations, a for-profit that is trying to sell things would have accounts. So I'm here at our friend accounts. And then what I'm going to do to update the pick list values is I'm going to click on our friend fields. And while I'm here at fields, now I'm going to cruise. I'm going to find the one that's called type. Click on type. And I'm going to go on down here. And here is a list of all the types that are available. Analyst, competitor, customer, a whole bevy of these. If you find that these actually will never work for your organization and you don't want them in there, it's as simple as clicking the delete key. But at the same time, because of the association with the record type, and we can talk more about that later, it's probably something like analyst isn't going to show up on the user interface. So then I click the word new and I type in the values that I want to add. So I've already added those guys in, so you didn't have to watch me type. And then I say, well, which record type would this apply to? Well, it's not households, right? I mean, it could be. And it could be individual, but actually in this instance, I just want it associated with organizational record types. And it's a little awkward because that whole account thing, but just keep in mind that it's, or that whole account thing, but it's actually organizations. Then I click Save. And now it's going to be at our right here on our list right here. And I can change the order of these if I want. I can do a whole array of things. And let's go over here to record type. So we go to record type if we want to change pick list values that are associated with a particular record type, be it organizations or individuals. So we're right here, or household accounts. So I'm going to click on organization. And the one that I want to take a look at is the one that's called type. So that's the field that we're interested in changing. And I see that, some like perhaps since I have Jewish and non-Jewish, I probably don't want to have religious organizations showing up in the pick list value. That's going to muddy my data down the road since I'm doing a further breakdown of my data. There we go. And I could, if I wanted to, while I'm here, also remove other things. Like if I don't want to have if I want to force someone always being, or a record always being in a particular cohort. I don't know if that's your use case. It's how you want to do it. So I'm now going to save. And I'm going to go here to my record of Sarah, my temp record. And I'm just going to validate that indeed my work is there, because I'm a huge fan of checking that my work is there, because as much as I'd like to think of myself as the goddess of perfection, Occasionally, I'm not. All right. Non-Jewish and Jewish. Wonderful. We have the type ready to go. If you